woman inspects you carefully, her old, tired eyes contradicting her youthful face.
Do you know me? Have you shaped me out of the Wyrdness, or have I just created you?
She carries all the equipment you'd expect of a traveling witch, but she speaks in a soft, courtly manner. She also seems to know more about Wyrdness than you do, and traverses it without a weird candle. She listens to your invitation with patient condescension.
You say you have a menhir? How silly. You can own an item or a piece of rock, but not a being of Wyrdstone. I have a better idea. I'll invite you to my village, but first, I'll need proof that you're real. I know there is a man out there wandering with a fading candle. He's desperate for light, yet he doesn't know that there is no light that could guide him back home. First, find him and help him realize this simple truth. And then, when he's broken, guide him to his real destination.
She starts rummaging for something in her possessions.
Oh, and take this. It might come in handy. Maybe. Someday.
He's just a lost soul, wandering between clouds of weirdness with a fading weird candle in his hand. His eyes light up when he sees you. You notice that he is not actually looking at you. He's looking at your candle.
Thank gods! Mine's almost out. Do you have more? Please, if you don't help me, I'm done for. I have to find them. They're somewhere. I know it. I can feel it. And I need to be there. To be by their side, now. Thank you. I promise to make good use of it.
He continues with his search. It seems that your gift did indeed help this man to survive. But now the weird candle he got from you is almost extinguished.
You again! It's a sign. Gods have sent you to help me with my search. Please, can I have one more candle?
Maybe he's right. Maybe it's more than just a coincidence.
Thank you. I hope we'll meet again.
He continues with his search. This is a familiar face. You've met him before, but something has changed since then. He sits on a stone with slumped shoulders, and his head droops over a fading weird candle.
You again. Be gone. Don't tempt me to resume my search. I haven't found them. There's nothing but madness around us. I'm too tired to go on.
You tell him about your meeting with the witch. He looks at you with desperation and confusion on his face. Then, although you don't know why, you hear your voice changing.
I'm here, and I see you, friend.
It's the witch speaking through you.
What? What's going on?
I know what you've been looking for. I know that you didn't find it. And I know that it's lost forever.
The man buries his face in his hands.
They're gone. You're alone now. But that doesn't mean that you have to be lonely forever.
He gazes up at you as if you must be his savior. You have no idea what's happening, much less what to say. You can muster only a few paltry platitudes, sounding a bit like, even though you realize that these words wouldn't comfort anyone in ordinary circumstances, the man does seem a little bit happier. Suddenly, he begins disintegrating into a cloud of weirdness.
The bottle.
Before the witch's voice stops ringing in your ears, you realize you've already taken out the empty bottle she gave you. You've been wandering through the Wyrdness so long that it doesn't even surprise you when the cloud of smoke flows into the bottle.
Now get back to me. Yes, I can see that you're back. And I'm delighted to be sure that you're actually real. But we'll get back to that. Now let's get back to the poor soul trapped in that vessel.
She gently takes the artifact out of your hands and chants something over it. You can feel the weirdness becoming thicker. Then you hear a voice. It doesn't belong to a human.
Easy. Don't be afraid. Come over. I promised you wouldn't be lonely anymore.
Her voice is gentle. It's as if she's trying not to scare something away.
Here, you won't find what you're looking for. But I found you a new home. A new master.
You hear something running towards you.
Here, meet your new friend.
The wolf stops by your feet and demands cuddles.
He might well have been a wolf way back in the past. Then when he got lost, or lost what was dearest to him, he became a purpose. And this purpose was given a different shape by the Wyrdness. And now that he's found a new family, he's finally back to a more suitable self. Congratulations, you saved a soul. But this is my time to leave. Find me again and we'll talk about visiting the village. You see? I remembered.
Good. I caught you before you went out, all on your lonesome. Our mutual friend already told you to slay the stone golem. Perfect. The golem is just a start, though. Even if you do manage to kill it, the further you go, the more dangerous the road will become. And since we're talking roads, you're walking within the Wyrdness now, and it's dangerous. Take these candles, light them up, and try not to let this damned fog close around you. Got it? Oh, and before you face the golem, look around the area. There's a blacksmith nearby who might be willing to join your village. Finding people like him will be crucial for your survival. Each one will be helpful in a different way. And with that, I'm out. Good luck.
A song breaks through the slithering of the Wyrdness.
I have no hope, no home, no gold. Mine is but misty morning cold.
Not long afterwards, you come upon a man wearing a blacksmith's apron.
Oi, traveller. Want to buy a good anvil? 'Tis all I have, I'm afraid. Me home, you see, went poof. 1 minute there, next minute gone. I found myself here, with this lump of iron for company. I swear to gods it started talking to me not long ago. Oh, no. I left that life behind quite a while ago. All I'm interested in these days are runestones. Yes, containers for the magic of giants. Even though you'll usually find them broken, they're extremely powerful. You can use them to enhance your weapons or armor. They will influence your abilities in different ways. Also, when you find 3 of the same kind and rarity, you'll be able to fuse them together. This will make them even more powerful. Here, let me give you some. You can try it later. I'd say that since you know what you're looking for, you should be able to find more of them out there. By the way, you want me in your village? Well, you must first prove you can take care of yourself. Kill 10 bears and... just fooling, for pity's sake. What would I need 10 bears for? Show me the way. I think I'm starting to remember. Something. It's not clear just yet. But now that you've completed all the tasks given to you by our new friends, I can sense something coming back to me. I've realized that there's one last thing you need to do.
He smiles sadly, with a faraway look in his eyes.
The goat informed me that I need to help you to rebuild our home. And something tells me we need to do one more thing for that to happen. It feels like it's a blueprint for things to come. Something that needs to be done now, so that people in the future, if there even is a future, can reach out and remember. We need to secure our village against the Wyrdness. Our menhir is fading, as all of the menhirs on this island will. Their powers will soon be lost, and then all of our efforts to make this island our home will have been pointless. But somehow I recall from other times that there was this one place. A lost library filled with books of long-forgotten wisdom. Nobody remembers who wrote them, and very few people know how to read them. Find the library. There, find the book containing the menhir rites. Within the Wyrdness, that's where everything that's ever been lost can ultimately be found. I just hope you can make it in time, before the menhir's power fades, and the Wyrdness swallows us whole. Go now. There's no time to spare.
Something coalescing within the Wyrdness. From a distance, it looks like a trembling stone, no higher than your knee. Approaching this strange phenomenon, you can't help but feel the Wyrdness thickening around you, shrouding you. Then you realize that it isn't a monster. It's just a human girl. She's grimy with dirt and sweat, and her eyes are full of tears. She seems to be terrified of her surroundings. She clambers to her feet as soon as she sees you. She points to the right with one trembling hand. Her eyes pierce you with a stare that feels like 1,000 tiny needles.
with the zero, there will be some student being a sunset that they knew on when it got. Ja, we never searched for that, and yeah, what is the how you from Hudson with the fellow attacks, searched those in it. And we now out the right, please, shivers in the ember and those sweet medic as it's it. Well, I was looking at sunset if any yet. That's the other purpose. We went out up. So, I was looking at sunset if any one. Sever. Hey? Who seems after the ear, the shot seal up in the ear, one for and the shows it. Yeah, I'm for us. Stop. That's the other purpose. We went out up. So, I was looking at sunset if any one. Sever. Hey?
She disappears. You're left with no road in sight. Yet as you walk further, you slowly realize that the majestic trees around you seem to be forming some kind of structure. They start to look a lot like walls. It seems like an abandoned corridor in a building that must have been made for giants. The air is stifling, As you struggle to breathe, eerie noises begin to spread all around you. Wait, was that the sound of a page turning? Definitely. You hear the velvety rasp of a page being turned, and you're transported somewhere, and now you see it. A beast which must have been human once. It's reading dozens of books at the same time with dozens of monstrous eyes. One of these eyes fixes a beady gaze upon you.
Another bookworm, eh? Glad you found your way here.
Is this the library that the lost soul told you about?
Any book you are particularly interested in? This one? Are you sure?
The monster shows you a stone-grey grimoire etched with strange markings.
Even I can't read this one. So you have your book, and since you answered all the girl's questions, you still have 2 wishes to spare. One will be obvious. Here you go. And the last one, you... And since we won't meet again, a deal is a deal. Here. Now leave me alone. Go and save the world, if you please. I need to go back to my books.
The library disappears in the blink of an eye, leaving you in the middle of weirdness-soaked woods.
You did it. You found the Minorites. Now there's only one other thing you need to do. You need to find someone who can actually read this. Somehow I know. There's an elderly man out there. He goes by the name of Orin. Or Merlin. Were they even born yet? Either one of them. I can sense them within the Wyrdness. I can hear one of them whispering to me. They'll be able to translate the Minorites. And then we'll know what to do next.
In the Wyrdness, you hear a voice.
I knew you would come.
Pale blue eyes pierce your soul. The eyes are terrifying, yet when the silhouette of the man they belong to appears, you're suddenly not afraid anymore. He's an elderly man, leaning all his weight on a walking stick.
Ah, so it is time for us to talk after all. Now, give me what I need to see. Yes. I've wanted to lay my hands on this beauty for a long time.
He takes the book in his wrinkled hands, stroking the cover with the utmost respect. Then he rifles through the pages, mumbling to himself.
Of course.
He starts muttering under his breath.
The key is the union between light and darkness. Your Minher represents the darkness. It was a place of worship for those who cherished death and rebirth. Mine a sect of the Four Dwellers, yet quite powerful. Then, where humans came with our own goddess, the Lady of Life, and also rebirth, the All-Mother. And we worshipped her all across the land. I see. You need blood. Sacrifice yourself to the Minher. Get to the state between life and death, and then something will happen. It's not quite clear what, but it will help. I will keep the book as a token of your gratitude for my translation. There is nothing else there that you would find useful, and I need to go.
Knowing that you can't die and that you'll be reborn, you cut deep into your flesh in the hope that your sacrifice will at least save this village and its people from the Wyrdness. Or, if all of your efforts are in vain, because corruption will eventually destroy this world, maybe at least you'll make sure that your friends end up a little bit happier. You feel cold. Then suddenly you hear a voice.
What marvelous work you do here. I'm truly impressed.
Death appears in front of you.
That's exactly what we needed. The things you do here, you see, they help to establish certain parts of the narrative. They're blueprints for how certain things will unfold in the past and in the future. Your original body and mind came here on one of the first ships that reached this island. But let's say you're blacksmith. In your calendar, he won't be born for at least another 400 years. But your work here, well, it will allow him to have a happy ending in his own timeline. Your deeds here make all the difference. Saving people from this corrupted reality and helping them here allows the rest of the world to function. It's too bad that you're stuck here until all of the people here are saved from this reality's corruption.
You're pretty sure Death just laughed.
But it's time to give your friend, the lost soul, his identity back. Don't you think? Treat him well, for his is the greatest mind ever to grace Avalon.
If Death had a face, it would look at you with parental condescension.
No.
You're left alone, back at the feet of the men here.
Hello, my friend.
It's strange. He looks the same, yet his eyes have changed. And so has his voice.
I told you we'd meet again. Yes, the last time we met, I was nothing but a memory, wandering between planes of this corrupted reality. But it looks like somebody has given me a new body, and a much younger one than I had before, or than I'm going to have in the future.
For the first time since you met the lost soul, he smiles broadly.
Thank you. It's the most amazing gift you could have given me. I have my youth back. Well, now, Death must have already told you that your goal is to save everyone in this reality, just like you did with us here in the village. It won't be easy. It will take time, but we're going to help you any way we can. That's a promise.
King Arthur promised us safety on these shores. Instead, we found stormy seas, rocks like shark teeth, and treacherous mists. Those few who manage to land will be set by hunger, cold, and nightmares born of Wyrdness. My people settled around a gnarled old statue. Though we did not understand its origin or purpose, the enemy seemed to avoid it. That was good enough. For a time. In the end, the winds of Wyrdness only grew stronger, and the statue failed to protect the settlement. There was fear, despair, and then nothingness, as reality melted around us.
You awake to nothingness. All you can sense is darkness. A dense mass of emptiness so total that even your thoughts disintegrate. Then you hear whistling. An eternity seems to pass before something materializes in the darkness with you. Something angry.
Damn it, you weren't supposed to land here. Damn it all to hell.
The creature pauses for a moment, clearly weighing up some options. He taps a finger against one of his horns.
Now, listen, there's a lot to do and no time to waste. What can we... Perfect. You can speak, and yes, these are really great questions. No easy answers, though. Sorry to disappoint. Now, listen closely. Are you ready? Brace yourself, because what I'm going to tell you is rather important. You're gone. Your village is gone. Everything you've ever known is gone. Yes, everything and everyone, including your very own self, as I mentioned already. However,
The creature taps two hooves together, marking a dramatic pause.
there is a small chance, an infinitesimally tiny chance, really, to bring it all back. You were saved from death in order to keep your reality from falling apart. But, well, it's not going to be easy. First, we must ensure that you're in good enough condition to actually do anything. Which brings us to the problematic part. Your body.
You squint down at your feet and hands in the darkness. They seem perfectly fine.
Oh no. Oh, goodness me, no. That's just an illusion. I had to get you here somehow, didn't I? Otherwise you'd start talking about the afterlife and whatnot. And this, my friend, is not an afterlife. This is a total mess. But let's see what we can do. Here, this little trick should get us started at least. Well, it seems your soul isn't strong enough to be picky about its vessel yet. Don't worry, you'll grow. Now, we need to see whether my little trick actually worked.
The goat weaves his fingers in an intricate series of gestures. With a final flourish, he conjures a terrifying creature into the emptiness.
Aha, here we go. This is a powerful Avalonian warlock. But don't worry, he's not really here. Not in the truest sense. Your goal here is simple. Fight. Show me that you've got what it takes. Impressed. I didn't expect that. Have you been here before and I just didn't recognize you? Anyway, after that performance, I'll assume you don't need any more direction. So, I'll send you to your destination. Your main objective for now will be to push forwards, survive, kill the 4 Guardians. Then we'll talk. Listen, it's been 4 years since humans landed on these shores. 4 years of strife, fear and hunger. At least that's what you tell yourselves. And 4 years of war you were destined to lose because even the mightiest human wizards are no match for the Avalonians.
Seeing your expression, it makes an impatient grimace, stepping from one foot to the other.
The war you brought here? Well, it wasn't exactly going in your favour. But then that wizard, Merlin? Well, he had an idea. Your king, Arthur, he had another brilliant idea. Both stubborn mules, both playing with powers they didn't understand and were never meant to understand. And so we're here, in this corrupted reality, strung together with the last strand of somebody's goodwill.
Where your hometown once was, a lone man sits among the remains. He doesn't notice you. Only when you walk right up to him, he turns his blank stare toward you.
It's not my farmhold, is it? I'm from up north, the land of fog. I don't know what happened.
At least that's one thing you have in common.
A creature that looked like a goat told me I'd wake up in a strange place, and that I'd find someone in need of my help there.
The man looks at you for a moment.
I've already made some preparations and settled in one of the tents here. I can't offer you much at the moment, though. This place is different. But you? I've seen an enormous creature out there. A golem of stone. The evil energy it emits is beyond anything I've ever felt. I'd say getting rid of that beast would be a good start.
The golem collapses and shatters into thousands of pieces at your feet. You feel a strange surge of power in the air. Suddenly, a familiar creature appears.
Good. That was good. Congratulations.
You instantly recognize this voice. It's the goat-legged creature you've met before.
You see, the problem with Wyrdness is that it's an uncontrollable mess. Is there something you want? Really, really want? Snap your fingers. Here you go. There it is, right in front of you.
He looks at you, clearly unimpressed by the fact that you even exist.
If you're Avalonian, that is. You, people of the homelands, never found out how to control this power. And the problem is that you tried, because obviously you did. You know which human emotion is the strongest. Yes, and every answer was correct. All of these emotions made an impact on the force that surrounds us, that envelops this island, and it tried to give back. You hate somebody? Wish them death? Snap of your fingers, and here you go. A clear personification of your feelings standing right in front of you. However, since you're not a four-armed Avalonian wizard, you can't control it, can you?
He pauses, his expression one of hesitance. Maybe he said too much.
Anyway, as I've said before, good job. There are 3 more of those for you to get rid of, and then we can call it a day. This day, this time, in this timeline. Also, another path opened for you, with another surprise at the end. Oh, and before you go, I have even more good news for you. Yes, you guessed right, you deserve a reward.
You did it, didn't you? You've slain the beast. I knew I felt something unusual. As if some tremendous power was suddenly released and hit this land like a wave.
He nods in admiration.
I have to be honest with you, though. I had to make sure you'd be able to survive here.
He looks through you with his blank stare. But you're sure you've noticed the briefest glimmer of hope in his eyes. Before your dead enemy even hits the ground, you hear a familiar voice behind you. As you turn, you see the goat.
Oh, this one was a piece of work. We had high hopes for him. Too bad it ended like that. But 2 down, 2 to go. I'd say you're doing pretty well for a newborn. And just like before, another path opened in your village. Also, getting rid of these things gives me some space to help you out. Interested?
As the monster disappears, you expect the goat to appear. And indeed, you're not at all surprised when you hear the familiar voice.
Splendid! But don't rest on your laurels just yet. What you see right now is only the first dimension, the first level of this corrupted reality.
You can't see the creature's face, but you can imagine its smirk.
Anyway.
The blades of this lone windmill creak and groan as you approach. It's as if they're trying to warn you about something. When you enter, the miller strides towards you and immediately announces,
Apologies, but I can't let you in.
The man looks at you with an unamused expression.
You weren't invited. Besides, the ceremony is in progress, so there's not much to be done about it. I'm afraid I'm not in a position to tell you. The way it works is that you need to receive a written invitation from someone who's already a member of the group.
What was once a lively tavern now stands abandoned amongst dense clouds of the Wyrdness. Deserted and eerie, it is as silent as a grave. Suddenly, a small man with a red nose approaches, waving bottles of hooch. His smell is one of a kind, a uniquely pungent odor that you can feel coating the inside of your nose. It's a mix of sweat, ale, and piss, with a subtle note of rotten grapes sprinkled on top. He looks like a caricature of a dancing fairy, but this fairy happens to be the drunkest, hairiest, and smelliest person in all Avalon.
Come on, take a sip. Don't be shy. Drink with me, and you'll forget every useless skill you've ever learned and every worthless person you've ever met. Just let your brain melt. It's my special recipe. Isn't that wonderful? Let your brain melt from my special recipe.
You feel the fluid burning down your throat and into your stomach, leaving a peculiar iron-like aftertaste. You have no idea what the swill is, but at least one thing was true. You're sure it made you forget something. The man belches loudly.
Now we fight. What's the use of drinking without a proper fight to commemorate the evening?
The man finally collapses and disappears into the Wyrdness. You find a few things on the ground. Among these, you find a crumpled piece of paper. You can't quite understand the weird marks and symbols scrawled on it, but it's clearly an invitation to something.
Apologies.
The man looks at your invitation and silently opens a hatch in the floor. It clearly leads down to a cellar. As you walk down the stairs, you hear weird chants coming from afar. They become louder and louder with every step you take. Then suddenly, you see a group of people in black robes gathered around a stone carved with various markings.
Take your place. Do not disturb the ritual.
You take the free place. Since you don't know the words, you at least try to hum along to the melody together with the rest of the crowd. At some point, one of the men starts reciting the words of some ritual. He leads that chant, but they end each verse in unison.
Lord of the black skies, we invoke thee. Crowned pale king, we invoke thee. Eternal dark sky, we invoke thee. Lord of the night, we invoke thee.
Someone throws various mysterious items into a fire. Someone cuts their arm open and drips their blood over the flames. Everything is happening very fast, and the chanting continues. Then everything goes black. Unnatural darkness envelops the place.
What do you think you're doing, you incredible morons?
The men fall to their knees and start praying vigorously.
We've summoned you, Lord, to pledge our allegiance and demonstrate our endless servitude.
Death snaps its fingers and the man's neck breaks, quite visibly, in 7 different places.
It's always the same with you, you idiotic beings. Always the same. You give them life and they'll find a way to screw it up.
Death snaps its fingers again and another man falls to the ground.
You forced me to come here and pay attention to you before your scheduled time, and now you say you worship me? That's rich.
Death looks around and notices you.
And what are you doing here? Did you go completely nuts and I somehow didn't notice?
Death chuckles. Probably. It's probably a chuckle. You know, there's really no telling with these immortal beings. You notice that the cultists are still kneeling with their faces touching the ground, all trembling in fear.
Listen, I can't have that. It's not like humans are the only creatures dying in this world. I'm busy. I'll tell you what. Normally, I'd just get it over with and be on my way. But since you're here, the choice is yours. Should I get rid of these insufferable beings, or should I spare them? As you wish. But I know the type. They won't stop fooling around with this kind of magic. It's on you to make sure I'm never summoned here again. I'll make it easy for you. Here, with this and certain ingredients, you'll be able to summon things. Things which are not me. They will look real, but they won't be real. They won't be able to kill you. Study them. Fight them. Do what you want. Now I have to go.
Death disappears. The cultists slowly rise, unsure of exactly what happened. Then they start thanking you for saving their lives. You give them the grimoire and once again explain in excruciating detail that they're forbidden from ever summoning death again.
Ah, good to see you. There's one more thing I forgot to tell you. This place right here is where I fill the molds. You're welcome to come by here at any time. But over there...
The candlemaker points to a greasy, thick curtain shrouding the deeper parts of the house.
That's where the secret part of the process takes place. Do not go in there. Understand? Never. Under any circumstances. Because the process is complicated. And weird candles are fragile. A whole batch can be ruined in the blink of an eye. I don't want anyone, and I mean anyone, wandering around in that room. I know where you're going with this question. You think I use human remains to make my candles? Bollocks!
He steps towards you, arms wide open.
Don't know who told you such ridiculous things. But next time, I promise I'll...
After some abundant cursing, he sighs and calms down.
To make a candle, you need fat. And a few other things you just don't need to know about. But mostly it's fat. Now, tell me, when did you last see a well-nourished human? These hands are the only human component I need. My hands and my skill. It's enough to use one's brain for a second to understand this. I might as well tell you a bit. The other room is full of things that no sane human should witness. Remains of weird spawn aren't a pretty sight, let me tell you. But there's enough fat in them for decent candles. Also, their blood is contaminated by... Well, you'd have to ask the druids about that. You know what? Prove that you treat my craft seriously. Then we'll talk. I won't ask much of you. I just need you to walk through the Wyrdness and burn as many candles as you possibly can. And then, bring back whatever's left of them. I'll be able to recycle at least some of the materials into new candles. Maybe even better candles. It's too bad that most people who use them never come back. Thank you for working for the greater good and our mutual benefit. This proves to me that you deserve to hear things that others simply wouldn't understand. The name's Luch, and I'm really glad to be here. I led a peaceful life making candles for hunters and regular townsfolk. Never charged much, never had any complaints. That is, until the mayor realized that he was helpless against the threat of the Wyrdness. My craft, however, made me indispensable, so he made me disposable. He turned the villagers against me. All it took was a rumor that the candles are made out of those who went missing in the Wyrdness. And that was enough for the mob to come baying at my door. Luckily enough, a group of performers came by, and they let me leave with them. They realized that my ability to make weird candles would be very useful on the road. But you know where you found me. In a ruined house, deep in the woods. How do you think I wound up there? Stories tend to repeat themselves. And so the man who helped me out soon noticed that I'd become irreplaceable. So, just like the mayor, he cast me away. Well, this might sound a bit paranoid, but bear with me. When I was living in the forest, I saw a face lurking within the Wyrdness. It was the face of the man who told me to leave the performers. It's as if he was coming to haunt me. I know I can't be sure, but I feel that he's out there. And if he is, the only thing he deserves is death.
He hands you an amulet, explaining that, for reasons unknown, it used to glow with a faint light whenever the creature got near.
If you ever come across this spiteful weird spawn, please, greet him from me. I never got the courage to do it myself.
As you walk through the dense clouds of the Wyrdness, the amulet the Luch gave you lights up. Something wicked emerges out of the dark. It looks and moves like a living mountain, and its enormous abdomen obscures your field of vision. It takes you a moment to realize what you're looking at. Your eyes are drawn to dozens of limbs stretching out of an enormous belly, arms gyrating wildly, as if those eaten alive were trying to escape their gruesome fate. The monster growls. He takes a step in your direction. He starts caressing his belly, like a pregnant mother trying to comfort her child. The monster gets closer and closer. He looks you straight in the eyes. To your surprise, the monster doesn't die. Somehow he just vanishes within the Wyrdness. Then you notice a ray of light streaming up from the ground. Investigating, you find a beautifully ornamented pin. It clearly belonged to someone quite wealthy. There's a chance that the candlemaker will know something about it. can feel it. The Candlemaker's nightmare is going to appear again. And indeed, you see the enormous body slowly materializing out of the Wyrdness. Apparently, he you're Luch. It seems he's unable to see with his eyes, but he definitely feels the light of a candle. You notice that it burns right through his skin. Limbs stretch wildly out of his belly and twist and gyre in desperate motion. He quickly disappears into the shadows, seeking the protection of the Wyrdness. After he's gone, you notice a small pouch left behind on the ground. Perhaps he was holding it? Perhaps the pouch fell out as the candle was burning his skin. There's nothing of value inside, but perhaps...
Good to see you.
You tell the Candlemaker everything about your encounter with the monster he was so afraid of.
He ate his people in order to protect them. That's unbelievable. Greedy bastard. You see, he knew they'd be safer with me, but the only things he cared about were his own pride and influence.
You show Luch the pouch you found on the ground. When he takes a look inside, his eyes suddenly light up.
I wasn't sure, but I know whose pouch it is. It belonged to Val. Everyone loved her. She was a star. Quite naive and innocent. A sweet child, really. I bet she was his last victim. Poor Val. But there's something strange about this. I can sense something odd emanating from this pouch. Something I can't quite describe. Give me a moment.
He disappears into his secret room, but he leaves the door open so that you can still hear him talk.
You did well. And I have an idea for how to avenge the life of this extraordinary girl. The monster must carry at least one more thing with him. I don't know what it is or who it belonged to, but we weren't a big group. Bring me that second item, and I think I'll be able to surprise you. In a good way.
You show Luch the pin you found on the ground after fighting the monster. You see sadness welling up in his eyes.
I'd recognize this pin anywhere. It belonged to Min, one of the best singers I ever heard. He ran away from home. A young sire, now a disgrace to his royal family. But that's all I needed. Now, give me a moment to prepare the surprise.
He disappears into his secret room, but he leaves the door open so that you can still hear him talk.
The more I think about this, you see, the more I realize that they weren't bad people. Just fearful. And ultimately, corrupted by that manipulative freak. Well, I suppose I can't do any more to avenge them. If only they'd used their own minds, they would have found me and stayed safe. But brainwashed, they had no choice but to obey this freaky jester.
He comes back holding a very strange candle.
Here, a gift. But unfortunately, one you won't be able to use very often.
I'm from Darkroot Valley, the greatest and most resourceful farmland of Avalon. Well, actually, we're at war with everyone, I suppose. I hope we didn't raid your original farmhold. We did, didn't we? Oh, I'm really sorry.
You explain that, for all you know, they didn't. She calms down instantly.
That's good to hear. In truth, I wasn't even there for most of my life. Master Iron took care of me since I was a small child. Oh, no. Not really. I mean, whenever I met anybody or heard from anybody, they always seemed afraid of my work. But mostly, Master Iron told me that we had to live far from our farmland because of some of my experiments. I don't remember any of that, though. I don't. He must have left when I was busy with my research. Would you be able to keep an eye out for him during your travels? I wish I could, but I honestly don't remember.
You know, you look for holes, open up, then you find something you didn't expect. The half-burnt corpse of an elderly man. It vanishes as soon as you get closer, leaving only a box on the floor. Somehow the box is untouched by the flames. The box contains an expensive ring with an unknown symbol and a piece of paper with beautiful handwriting.
Yes? Did you find him?
She listens to your story of the burned-down house and the corpse you found inside. It must have been Aaron. There's no other explanation, especially considering the letter you found on his body. She snatches the letter from your hands. As she reads it, her eyes widen with shock.
I killed him. My experiments killed him. But I have a family. I had one, at least. I need to think about this. Please, give me some time.
Hilda is sitting in front of her house and speaking to herself.
My father banished me from home because I'm responsible for my mother's death. Then my experiments were the cause of Master Iron's death. I didn't remember any of this. What else do I not remember? Am I beyond salvation?
You see the seamstress approaching.
You poor, poor child. Why can't you all finally understand that in this broken world, nothing is exactly as it seems?
She sits beside Hilda.
Your father blamed you for your mother's death, but he wasn't there when the accident happened. No adult was. You were a child, left unattended. When the fire broke out, was it really your fault that no adult was there to douse it?
Hilda sighs. She tries to say something, but the seamstress cuts in.
He punished you by sending you away with a man he knew he could count on. And he trusted Iron because Iron was a coward.
Hilda seems to be getting sadder and sadder. Yet it's a calm sadness.
I'm sure he hated you at first, but he was happy about the pouch of gold he received from your father. With time, I believe he saw your potential. You have a gift, girl, and he used your gift for coming up with magical potions to make money. Plenty of travelers were buying your mixtures from him. You didn't even know, did you? All you've ever known is a man who fed you and took care of you, whatever that care was worth, and was disappointed whenever your experiments went wrong. He lost money with every cauldron you destroyed and every fire you caused. You were raised by a crook, Hildy. Iron wouldn't have died in that fire if he were conscious while you worked. It's too bad that at some point he wasn't all that interested in being conscious at all. And so you were left alone and unattended again. And this time, you were left with your talent exploited and no proper directions. You're not a witch, Hildy. You're not a woman whose purpose is to know better. Your talent has its essence in fire. and fire burns. That is fire's main purpose. Embrace it and stop lying to yourself. I'm a seamstress. It's my job to weave and sew. Sometimes that means knowing more than one person probably should, but that's exactly what makes me good at my job. Sleep it off, Hildy. Tomorrow everything will be much brighter. You'll see.
Thank you. You're right. I'll go sleep it off now.
You find an elderly archer sitting near a small fire. He tends the flames with care and tenderness.
Oh, a visitor? I haven't seen a friendly human face for a long time. It's getting lonely out here.
With a gesture, he invites you to sit with him.
Beautiful, isn't it? The question shouldn't be who I am, my friend. The question should be who I was. Because right now, I'd say I'm pretty much nobody. Not much. I tend to the fire and watch over this place. Since I failed to fulfill my task, I need to sit here and watch the fire. I don't want to, but I have to. I'm certain something terrible will happen if I stop. Well, that's definitely a story for another time, but I do appreciate you asking.
As you sit by the archer, you notice that this fire doesn't behave like a regular fire. It has the power to push weirdness away, just like a menhir or a weird candle. Moreover, you suddenly notice that the man's legs are rooted into the ground with blue veins. The veins stretch from his feet into the fire pit. You form a question in your mind, but when you look into the man's eyes, you realize there's no point in asking it. His gaze is absent, and his movements are barely noticeable. You decide to leave it for another time and turn your eyes towards the fire. The flames flicker with a weird, magical rhythm.
Oh, I feel like I've seen you before. Didn't we meet somewhere? Maybe in Tintagel? Come, join me. Warm yourself by the fire.
Your eyes are drawn to the man's legs. They are rooted into the ground and somehow connected to the flame.
My condition? Ah, it's not a condition. It's a curse. And well deserved at that. Punishment for being a coward.
The moment he says these words, the flame gets brighter. His face twists in pain, but he makes no sound. It's as if the fire were burning him up from the inside. You try to ask him something, but there's no response. You contemplate the nature of his punishment. Somehow it's all linked to the flame. Who might be able to tell you what's happening here? Then you realize, maybe the candle maker in your village could know something about the nature of this weird flame. You tell him about the man you met. You describe the older man whose legs emerged with the fire. He listens to your description in silence.
That sounds interesting. Very interesting.
He disappears
This man
for a
is the
while
source
into
of the
his
fire's
secret room.
unique, many-like
When he
powers.
returns, he says,
That would turn all of my knowledge upside down. A man-powered weird candle. That would be something. It would prove all the superstitions around candle making were true, wouldn't it? Anyway, I would need a sample of the flame. Bring me anything you can from this unfortunate soldier. Maybe we could use him. And save him from the curse, of course. That comes first, obviously.
The man greets you as if nothing has happened.
When I was younger, only a teenager really, I was one of the guards in an asylum not far from Tintagel. On the dark morass, we were stationed there to ensure the plague wouldn't spread. You know how it is with all these infected people. Since they're destined to die of the Red Death, they just don't care what happens to the rest of us. I was supposed to protect the healthy, but at one point I couldn't. I got soft and I couldn't keep up with my duties. I couldn't sacrifice the few for the many. I did save a group of infected people, but I let the plague spread. Now you see the nature of my crime.
You think about his deeds and realize that if he was just a teenager back then, he must have been sitting here for a long, long time.
Maybe I did. But many people, maybe even ones more innocent than those I saved, died because of my choice.
You explain that someone in your village is interested in his condition. You ask for a sample of the flame. The man shrugs and looks back at you with a puzzled stare. He falls silent. You know there's more that he wanted to ask you, but you can clearly see that he's not in the mood for further conversation.
This will do, yes. Now, give me some time.
The candlemaker disappears into the room you're forbidden from entering. You wait patiently. Hours pass, and then he finally returns with a sad look on his face.
So, I have two answers for you. Good and bad. Which one would you like to hear first? His condition is in no way useful for our village. It's just another case of things being twisted by the Wyrdness. That's all. I know how to save your friend. And it's not that complicated. The sad truth here is that your friend was a soldier and a coward in life. This means that he wasn't cursed for his crimes. It means that he wants to be punished for them. He wants to be purified, absolved, connected to the fire. This is his own chosen punishment. Get it? See, it's all in his head. He can get up as soon as he really wants to. When he forgives himself. It's as simple as that. And yet, it's not that simple at all.
Oh, good to see you. Can I ask you a question? I told you about the nature of my crime, and I've been sitting here for years, cursed to stare at this fire for all eternity. All I do is wonder, how long can, or should, my punishment last?
Judging by the way he looks and by the thickness of the roots linking his body to the fire, he must have been here for a long, long time.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. To be honest, at this point, I don't even care if I live or die. All I want is to finally move my limbs. One last time.
He looks at you as if he suddenly remembered something.
Did you have any luck with that sample you took by any chance? Did your friends find any way to help me?
You explain what you learned. The man looks at you with a puzzled stare.
I suppose it makes sense.
The flame burns brighter.
I've had all the time in the world to think about what I did in the past. But what you said, what you did for me, it made me realize I did the best I could at the time.
You see blue veins crushing under his feet when he tries to move. He struggles. His movements are slow.
Yes, I forgive myself.
You see blue veins crushing under his feet.
I forgive myself.
He stands up in front of you, free from the fire. He looks at you with gratitude in his eyes.
Thank you.
Suddenly, his body starts disintegrating into a cloud of smoke, and eventually into dust. All that's left here is the fire. So his final wish was to die? At least he has found peace at last. You sit alone by the flickering flames. You sense that the fire is somehow different.
It's good to meet you, traveler. There's something I'd like to ask you, if you have the time. There's a Brock somewhere out there. It's a prison in which they're keeping my innocent friend. A man who trained me and taught me everything I know about combat. Whenever I get close, there's some force which prevents me from entering it. So I'm unable to break my friend out. Maybe you'll have more luck. Could I ask you to help him out, so he doesn't rot away in a cell?
The man is visibly surprised as he listens to your story. He's even more surprised to learn that his friend lives in your village.
Thank you. Then please greet him from me.
Come, train if you feel like it. The promised reward. But if I may ask this of you, lend me your ear for a moment. A favor. You can handle yourself, so I figure you won't be afraid to handle something that no sane person would ever agree to do. Somewhere out there, you might encounter a certain knight, a creature of enormous size and even more enormous appetite. I have to ask you for help to convince this creature to come back here. That's a long story, but he belongs here with me. Here, I can take care of his condition and keep trying to heal him.
I feel I'm not going anywhere. I'm hungry.
The knight looks at you impatient.
How rude of you.
His voice becomes a growl. His knightly features fade as he shifts into an enormous, grotesque creature. Suddenly he's stinking, huge and drooling. Perhaps offending this noble creature wasn't the best idea.
Come, train if you feel like it. These may be mere illusions, but they hit and kill, just like the real versions.
You tell the druid that the knight doesn't intend to go anywhere because he's hungry. The druid sighs, and there's a palpable sadness to this sigh.
I could have expected that. Well, I tried everything. Nothing helped. I wish there was something I could do about it. When you see him, you're not looking at a knight cursed by the Wyrdness. Nothing like that. What you see is a poor child, cursed by the sins of his father. He's the son of a warrior who came to Avalon to serve Arthur's cause. In truth, he came here to serve his own cause, to drown his insatiable bloodlust. War breeds such people. Or perhaps, I should say, war gives them an environment in which they can become their true selves. This man, this horrible man, had a son. He always took him to battle and treated him like a lucky charm. Then, after every victory, the child was spoiled with whatever it wanted. At first, it was treats and trinkets. Then the son started to watch his father and to learn from his father. Soon, There was no innocence left in this child at all. Instead, only gluttony and lust for all things morbid, and nobody dared to disobey. And then, the Wyrdness came. Its ways, sometimes they are poetic, sometimes quite literal. It mistook the child's need for fatherly attention for gluttony. Yes, you're probably among the first to ever dismiss his wish. But since even this didn't work, I'm out of options. I have no idea how to convince him to come here, where I can at least keep trying to help him. Thank you. I hope you'll come up with something. The child doesn't deserve this.
You're back already?
The Master-at-Arms listens intently to what you have to say about the sizable knight. He even asks questions, trying to learn more about his father and the way he was raised.
Well, from what you're saying, it's pretty obvious what's going on with this child. This boy doesn't need more food, or to be experimented on by some druid. He needs a father. He needs responsibility. I'm too old to take care of this myself, but my friend, the one you met already, might be able to help. I'm sure he'll be able to help figure out what to do with this child.
So,
The Wanderer listens to your story and lights up.
you can count on me. I'll find this poor boy and do everything I can to help him out. And I already have an idea. You see, by breaking my friend out of that accursed brooch, you've made it possible for me to enter it. This, in turn, gives me an idea. You say the boy needs responsibility. Well, let's give him a responsibility. We'll make him into a guard of this damned brooch in no time. However, since I'll be busy with this, I need to ask you for a favor. I know there's a man somewhere out there, someone I was trying to train back in the day. I taught him a lot, yet it wasn't enough to keep him from throwing his gift away. He was a natural fighter. It's too bad he decided to fight the wrong people. They threw him into a cell and left him to rot. But I'm sure I saw someone who looked just like him on my travels. He's gone by many names over the years, but his real name is Coolin. He'd be surprised to hear it after all this time. If you find him before I do, please let him know that I'm here, and that he's welcome to join me any time.
Thoughts are clearer, my hunger smaller. I can actually think about something other than my starving body now. Thank you. You're my friend now, and I promise I'll take care of this place. I'll be filling these cells with the worst people I can find in the world. People like my father. People like... And in case I'm out hunting the scum of the earth, here are the keys to the Brock. Feel free to visit any time.
This Brock is once again a private prison. However, this time you gave it and its guardian a purpose. Wandering around, you notice that the plants on the ground around you are more like muscle tissue than typical vegetation. Then you notice an old man smiling at you in a disturbingly friendly manner. He's sitting near an enormous pool of blood and stacks of fancy bouquets made of body parts. Hands, hearts, testicles, arms, all held together by an unknown power, form the shape of a sunflower. Your horrified eyes pass over baubles made of kidneys and macabre flowers tied neatly with intestine ribbons.
Come, don't be afraid. I suppose some might consider my shop rather extravagant, but trust me, you won't find anything quite like my bouquets in these woods. So, what do you have for me today?
He notices a question forming on your lips.
Oh, pity. I thought you came here with my delivery. Well, that's an inconvenience. Anyway, you can still take a look at my wares. A splendid choice. I guarantee you won't regret it. These were preserved with care and the expertise of my years of experience, so they should last for quite a while.
The man's joy quickly turns to sadness. With teary eyes, he continues,
Yes, this bouquet would have been a perfect gift for a special lady, one that's dear to your heart, if only.
He sobs for a while. Then, with a shaky voice, he explains,
Bouquets have a purpose. They were invented for a reason. But that purpose has disappeared from this world. Nobody needs them anymore. Everyone says there are more important matters at hand. We just don't live in the right times for vanity and joy. And that's what bouquets are all about, right?
He tries to collect himself.
But I won't give up. I need to believe that all is not lost. And I do have a favor to ask of you. There is a lady out there, the fairest maiden of them all. I've only seen her once, true, but I know that she's the one for me. There's no doubt in my mind. Her presence by my side is all I dream about. Her beauty is all I can see. Please, I beg you, take the bouquet. When you meet her, the love of my life, she's bound to notice that it was made especially for her. Let her know that there's someone in this world who won't ever stop dreaming about her.
Your path grows increasingly inaccessible as the branches of Wyrdness crooked trees splay in all directions. Suddenly, you come upon a woman who, judging by what remains of her tattered clothes, must have been someone of importance at some point in her life. You can't focus on her garb, though, because as she turns, you realize that she's feasting on the rotting flesh of a dead monster. Blood and ichor drip from her open mouth.
Who do we have here? A stranger? It might be your lucky day, wanderer.
The woman giggles flirtatiously and covers her jagged teeth with one hand.
Give me your life's essence, and I will reward you with my precious stones. Unfortunately, this specimen here is running low.
You show her the bouquet you received from the florist. You can sense that she's overcome with joy and hope.
Give it to me. This is the most magical gift I've ever received. Like it was made just for me. Tell me who made such a wonderful bouquet?
You tell her everything there is to tell about your meeting with the florist. She listens intently.
What a surprise it is to find someone so gentle and pure survived in this world. Please let him know that I say yes. I want to meet him immediately.
The old man is hard at work on a new design. His disturbing...
Anything I can... And what did she say? Please, don't keep me waiting. What did she say?
The moment you tell him she agreed to meet, but before you even have a chance to finish your sentence, he shakes your hand, bows, and disappears into the weirdness. You see a glade that was once a battlefield. Whitened bones and rusted shards of armor litter the ground, creating a peculiar mosaic. Suddenly you hear a woman's voice. Her patter is full of longing and hope, yet she seems to be talking to something she's just picked up from the ground.
Is that you? You're so beautiful. No, it's not you.
Busy with whatever she's doing, she doesn't even notice your presence. The moment you move towards her, she emits a horrible shriek.
Don't come any closer. And don't look at me, stranger. Don't you dare look at me.
And finally you see her. The crooked silhouette of an old woman clad in herbalist robes. Just a second later, she bursts into tears. Her sobbing grows louder.
Guess how old I am. A sweet liar you are, traveler. I know how I look. And I look much, much older than that. But I appreciate the lie. I'm trying to find a runestone that I lost. It was a gift. You know it's bad luck to lose a gift. And in the meantime, I'm doing what I've always done. Scavenging. Although a couple of years ago, I might have tried to find a prettier word to describe looting battlefields.
She looks at you with a hopeful stare.
Any chance you'd share your runestones with me, traveler?
The woman grows more and more desperate in her search. You hear her mumbling something under her breath as you draw near. She doesn't even notice your approach. She looks at you with sadness in her eyes.
You won't give up with these questions, will you, stranger? A few years ago, I found a little boy wandering around one of the battlefields. He was so tiny, so adorable. I treated him like a son, but he...
She covers her face with one ragged sleeve.
He had to be an abomination conjured out of the Wyrdness. He stole my youth. He stole my health. He didn't change. After 5 years, he should have been 12. But he looked 7 just the day we met. But me, just look at me. I suddenly grew old, rapidly. Most of my hair fell out in one single night. I had no choice but to leave him. I needed to save myself, to keep these last years of my life inside me. I still regret it. I still love him dearly. But I had to.
You tell her about your meeting with Futhar, the boy playing with runestones and waiting for his mother.
So you met him, and he's still waiting for me. That's heartbreaking. You must think I'm a horrible mother, but I had no choice. I don't know whether he's a ghost or an abomination conjured by the Wyrdness, But he was killing me. Literally. If I could be cured, or if this disease could at least slow down. I miss him so much. I think of nothing else, and I just wish I could take care of him again.
Sometimes I think the stones might be magical. See these markings? I don't know what they are, but when they glow, they look so pretty.
You start telling the boy about your encounters with his mother.
She's out there? Why did she leave me here? Why did she come back?
You can almost physically feel the sadness that's rising in him. You try to explain what happened to Hulda, but he doesn't listen. His voice becomes desperate.
Why did she leave? It must be because I lost the stone that she gave me. It's because of that stone, isn't it? I know it is.
You tell him that his mother was desperately looking for a runestone when you met her, and now he's lost one?
When Mum found me, I was very sad and alone. She gave me a very pretty stone and I felt better. Then when she was sad, I gave her a stone that I found to make her feel better. She smiled, and she hugged me and said she loves me. But then she left and never came back. I just made a mistake. I was so hungry. I had some nuts in my pocket and I ate them. But one of them was very hard to swallow. And I'm not hungry anymore at all.
You wonder how it's even possible that he ate a magical runestone and survived. But if that's the case, then who knows what effect it could have had on his mother. Seeing that he's calmed down, you try to explain what happened to Hulda and why she left him. He's still on the verge of tears.
All right, I'll just be sitting here and waiting for her to come back.
It seems you should find his mother again and tell her what happened. Maybe there will be something you can come up with to help her and the boy?
Did you find my son? Is he all right?
You tell her what you've learned from her son.
Oh, blessed be the old mother. So it wasn't the Wyrdness. He swallowed a runestone.
There's hope in her eyes.
So that means we can be together again? There is a way? But wait, if it's still inside him, that means the rune... Is it even possible to remove it without harming the boy?
You tell her that you're going to see whether the blacksmith in your village knows more about her son's condition.
Thank you. You bring me hope that I might finally reunite with my son.
The blacksmith spits out his drink. He clearly doesn't believe a word you're saying.
That. Yes. That was a good joke. Thank you. So what can I help you with today? Wait, you're serious? Oh my. Then let's go. There's no time to waste. Lead the way. We must find this boy before it's too late. Is this the boy you told me about? Good.
You can see confusion on Futhark's face.
Boy, you lie down with your back on the ground, and you do it now. There's no time to waste.
You wouldn't expect to hear a tone so unapologetic from your blacksmith, yet he's in a state in which he wouldn't accept objections from anyone. Futhark does exactly what he's told, no questions asked. The blacksmith takes out a rag and a bottle.
Now, boy, we're going to take this stone out of your belly. You understand me? It's painful, but we don't want that, do we? So hold this cloth close to your mouth. Take a good, long breath. This will make the pain go away.
Futhark does as he's told and instantly falls into a deep sleep.
All right. Now I can cut him open and take out the damn stone. Don't look. is not for the faint of heart.
You try not to look. Moments pass and you can hear the blacksmith's constant curses. Then, after an eternity or two, he falls silent.
I'm done. He should wake up soon. Except for the pain, he should be all right. But, here, just take a look at this magnificent thing.
He holds up a runestone you've never seen before. It shines with the weirdest of colors.
What should we do with it, hmm? Well, this experience should definitely teach him that you shouldn't eat runestones. I honestly have no idea how he survived this.
Oh.
The boy's waking up. Good. That means my job here is done. See you back at the village.
The blacksmith waves you goodbye and leaves.
I feel weird. Is everything all right?
The boy takes the runestone into his hand and looks at it with curiosity. He clearly wants to say something, but before he has a chance to do so, you hear a voice.
There you are.
It's Hulda. She's trying to get to you, but her unnaturally old body doesn't comply with her will.
Mom!
You watch them hug. You hear Hulda apologizing to her son, and you hear him apologizing in return. Their reunion takes a while, yet somehow you're unable to just leave. After quite a long time, Futhark comes up to you and grabs you by the hand. He leads you to his mother.
Thank you for this. You can't imagine how much this means to us.
You're back already? Go and train. You should practice 40 hours a day, at least. There's nothing to talk about, really. Prisons are built to lock bad people up, so I must have been one of them. Back then. Why are you so interested in my past? Well, you gave me back my freedom. I suppose that I owe you a story in addition to my services. I was a commander of Lord Warwick's private army. Served under his damned 8 stars on a burgundy background flag. When I tried to retire, he forced me to stay on as a tutor. So I trained his soldiers. And believe me, I trained them well. Then, one time, I disobeyed an order. Refused to train one of the younglings. I just couldn't.
You can see that he doesn't want to continue.
The ending of this story? Well, you already know it. You set me free from the prison I ended up in. And now my skills are at your command. Just do not repeat my lord's mistakes. Don't be stubborn. Observe what's going on around you. Then you should be fine. I shall speak no more. I have my honor to protect. Well, that's all I have left of my former life.
When you approach this feeble, strange man, you remember something the Master-at-Arms told you about. The banner of his former lord, the damned 8 stars on a burgundy background flag. This is the exact emblem you saw on the remains of a shield carried by a man you met.
No, I can't. All I can say is that it's meant to remind me of the kingdom I knew. The kingdom I need to surpass with the one I'll build. Getting to more important things, do you have any runestones for me?
You're back already?
You tell him about the man you encountered during your travels in the Wyrdness. You mention that he's collecting stones to build his kingdom, while still wearing the coat of arms of Lord Warwick.
How is it possible that so many good people die, but the scum always survive? I'm pretty sure that the man you met isn't actually a man, but a true example of a human monster. It seems that his mind was twisted beyond recognition by the Wyrdness. You see, Lord Warwick had a son, and I refused to train him because I saw how he treated the other soldiers. He was a cruel, unapologetic, and vicious brat. He was full of delusions of grandeur. He imagined himself as the Lord Commander of Arthur's armies and whatnot. He kept saying that he'd rule over his father's kingdom, or he'd burn it to the ground and create a new one, a better one. Seeing as how everything around us has gone to hell, what would you say about a little favor? It will be messy, but I'd really like to see this bastard erased from existence forever. Are you up for it?
Oh, good to see you. You know, I've been thinking about this stone you gave me. I realized that I could use some more of them after all. It shines in a really pretty way. It will be a perfect ornament for my throne room, don't you think? So, if you have some to spare, please let me know.
And his worthless treasures scatter all over the road.
You're back.
The Master of Arms looks at you with a grin. He's clearly happier than you've ever seen him before.
Don't worry about this. You did the right thing. The Wyrdness claimed him as one of its own before you could end his suffering. I just wish I prevented the unnecessary deaths of his victims while I still could. But that, well, it wouldn't be simple disobedience. Killing my lord's son would have been treason, and I respected Warwick. At least, I respected him when he was capable of sane thought. I hoped one day he would see what his son became. And me? All I could see was a tiny glimpse of sunlight slipping through the bars of my cell in the Broch. Maybe he saw his son turning into a monster. Maybe he became one of the young monster's victims. Thank you for taking care of the Weirdnspawn. Now I know he's been stopped. My peace is restored.
You hear strange, aggressive voices coming from the distance. Then, soon enough, you see a group of people carrying a burning statue of a demon.
Worship her! Worship her!
As you bow, the statue looms larger. She stands still, though in the flickering light of the flames, she seems to wave her arms towards you. The mad crowd cheers, raising their weapons to the sky.
And you worship her! Come with us! We shall feast together!
The crazed worshippers look at you with excited anticipation. Then one of the older men realizes that you're not well versed in their ways. You look around and notice that every single member of this cult is missing something. A hand, an ear, or even just a finger. As you offer your blood, a man carves off a sizable chunk of their holy statue and hands it to you on a wooden platter.
Eat, and you shall become one of us.
You bite into the piece with hesitation, but you quickly realize it's just meat. It doesn't seem to be tainted by weirdness in any way. One of the men approaches you. He hands you a curved dagger. It's not very sharp, but it's decorated with rather morbid ornaments.
From every man you slay, you shall carve out his liver. Then you shall lay it upon the tainted altar in praise of the Whisper.
Suddenly you hear a voice in your head, seemingly coming out of nowhere.
The meat is safe. These morons found a small, underdeveloped rat on their way. They killed it, and now they think that was some great victory. But I can feel you're not like them. I can use this kind of power. Go. Find something your people call a tainted altar, and we shall see what your future might hold.
As you get closer to the altar, a man in a dark robe appears out of nowhere.
You're not worthy. Go away.
You hear a growl emanating from the Wyrdness. In the blink of an eye, an unknown creature leaps out of the fog and sinks its fangs into the man's throat.
I will decide who's worthy.
The noise clamoring in your head becomes unbearable.
You're finally here. Good. I have a special task for you. Something I couldn't ask of these mindless followers who only praise me. It wouldn't look good to tell them that someone decided to abandon their ranks. I need you to find him and get rid of him once and for all. Well, that's up to you to figure out. All I can say is that he was invited to a certain ceremony and he didn't show up. And that's a betrayal. Don't disappoint me.
What was once a lively tavern now stands abandoned amongst dense clouds of the Wyrdness. Deserted and eerie, it is as silent as a grave.
Come on, take a sip. Don't be shy. Drink with me, and you'll forget every useless skill you've ever learned and every worthless person you've ever met. Just let your brain melt. It's my special recipe.
His eyes narrow and his posture straightens. All of a sudden, no trace of his drunkenness remains.
So it knows. You're one of them, and it sent you to kill me, right? Not going to happen. So, you don't even know what you're dealing with, do you? Then hear me out, because when I'm done, you'll join me here, drinking your brains out instead of thinking about cults, voices, and rituals. One thing I've come to realize is this. It doesn't exist. I know that sounds weird, since nothing to which people pray actually exists. But this is something else. It's not real. It's not a power in which you can feel in this world, or in which you can believe. It's more like a manifestation or something. Something evil.
His story suddenly stops. You realize he has frozen in place. His entire body is a solid block of silent stillness. You hear a familiar voice.
Yes, sorry about that, but I think I have to cut in. As you can see, he's in no condition to explain things he doesn't actually understand. What we have here is the Wyrdness at its best. Observing the end times, people started praying. And since these were new prayers about new things, nobody was listening. And here we are, with a new, tangible power, born out of Wyrdness twisted wishes, trying really hard to manifest in the physical world. You're still with me? Good. Now, there's a problem to solve here. We don't have enough time to handle this, but you do. So all's good. If you kill this man, the voice will lose the only opposition it currently has. It will grow in power and end up as a new god, a powerful part of this world. If you spare him, The voice will be angry. But in this state, it is still killable? That'd make my master happy, because another god is a complication we don't really need. Saving him will probably make your life more uncomfortable, because you will lose things created by the voice's power. But it will definitely make our lives easier when we have to clean up the mess that it will make in the end. So, decisions, decisions. Alright, good. That certainly makes things just a little bit easier. For us, that is. For you, things are going to get considerably harder. But now that I think of it, well, if you get rid of the voice, then the old gods might reward you somehow. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, I'm out of here. And don't worry about him. He'll come to his senses soon enough, and he won't remember a thing.
I can sense it. I can sense that you've disobeyed my direct order.
The voice becomes so loud that your head feels like it will explode.
How dare you disappoint me? How dare you disobey?
Then a second voice responds seemingly out of nowhere. It's a voice you've heard before.
Be gone.
You see a flash of dark light at the altar. A swirl of power forms and crackles above it. Then everything goes quiet. You feel a strange warmth inside. Approaching the altar, you feel calm. It's peaceful in here, almost as if every bad spirit was banished from this place.
Well, the last time I saw her, she was really big, clearly ready to give birth. She's probably hunting for food now. It's not easy to feed that many children. Don't worry, she's not dangerous. She's just a poor woman with a special relationship with the Wyrdness. And she's a mother after all. She won't turn to violence unless her children are threatened. And I just finished this cloth. It would be really comforting for her to have it. Can I count on you to get it to her?
You can hear them before you even see anything. The rustle of 1,000 tiny legs approaching from all around you. Among them, a whisper. A voice sounding like nothing you've ever heard before. Then you see her. A creature no words can describe. But you immediately understand that you're standing in front of the protector that the seamstress told you about. This enormous monstrosity lifts 2 of her legs in a delicate manner you would never expect from something of her size. She takes the veil from your hands. Her face, a disturbingly beautiful face, looks confused and worried. The nearby bushes move as if they were alive. She moves closer. You realize that if you didn't help to feed her children, this conversation could have gone a very different way. She raises her hand to feel the wind. What could she be determining? You realize that she's speaking about your village. She's gone before you have a chance to react. She looks at the expanding village.
You did I know. I felt her presence, And I know that if she's content, she'll make a powerful ally for you and this village. The good thing is that I can feel she's satisfied for now. I don't know what you did, but it certainly comforted her. And we definitely need to keep her feeling that way. You need to understand that she's a very unique being. A noble lady from one of the wealthiest families of her time. Her garments were a point of envy for women all over the realm. What all those envious eyes didn't see, however, was the fact that she kept burying herself in these clothes. Quite literally, they were all that kept her sanity relatively intact. I kept sewing for her, trying to keep her human mind in a stable place. But now that I've finally had some time to rest, I realized there might be something else we could try. Somewhere out there, you'll find a woman violently changed by the Wyrdness. She was a countess once, yet she desires no courtly or noble things now. She thirsts only for blood. When I met her, I couldn't help but notice that there's something peculiar about her. I know now that it's a certain quality of her skin. All we need is a sample. A little bit of her. Anything will do.
She notices your confused state, but before you have a chance to ask a question, she adds 2 words with a tone as sharp as her fingers.
Trust me.
What can we do for you?
The Countess looks at you, visibly surprised. But then she throws a quick glance towards her newfound lover.
That's a very, very strange request. But all right. Here you go. Anything else you might need? What can I do? This is perfect, thank you. She knew exactly what I needed. And what for, didn't she? But do you really want to know? It's a long story and a rather sad one, too. At some point in this scattered timeline, the woman you met was one of the nobility. However, she never fit in with that crowd. The blood in her veins boiled. She was longing for adventure, love, and more authenticity than the platitudes of courtly life. But at some point, she was forced into a role she was expected to fulfill.
Her eyes glaze over, as if she's no longer looking at you, but at someone from the distant past.
This ended badly for everyone involved. Her husband demanded love, and her love was something she couldn't and didn't want to give. And with time, her heart broke. I couldn't sew it back together even though I tried, because she didn't want it anymore. But with a broken heart that refused to be cured, eventually came a broken mind. She became known for her cruelty. Some said she was obsessed with her beauty and youth. The truth is that she was obsessed with pain. There are legends of the pictures she painted with the blood of young women, and the baths where she soaked in their blood. The truth is this: she had so much love inside for other people that she couldn't silence all of the voices within. I appealed to those voices while trying to heal her. She couldn't silence them and still see good in the world, so she started to destroy everything in her reach. It was a scream of pain, muffled by the even louder screams of her victims. Now, I'm going to turn the piece of flesh you brought me into a fabric. That fragment of skin comes from someone who loved others so much that even the Wyrdness couldn't mute that feeling. Even after being turned into a beast, after becoming cursed with an insatiable lust for blood, this fabric, her skin, still longs for the touch of another person. And there's nothing that defines a human being more than this need. Since we need to help out another lady, the mother of spiders, we need a special thread. A thread to connect her body and mind and sew them together so that she doesn't risk being lured further into insanity by the weirdness. Knowing that nothing connects her to reality as much as beautiful garments, and having fabric woven from love and humanity, I can create something to keep her far from the reach of the weirdness. Now give me a moment. I need to prepare a gown worthy of her dreams.
She disappears for a moment and then comes back with the strangest dress you've ever seen.
Please, get it to her, and let's hope for the best.
Deep within the weirdness, you find her again. As terrifying as before, and now with the pained expression of a woman who's getting closer to giving birth. She doesn't say a word when she sees you. You leave the gown in front of her and take a step back. She looks at it intensely for a moment. Eventually, she whispers, "You can hear the rustle of 1,000 tiny legs nearby. She looks.
You did a good job gathering all those pieces.
Before you have a chance to finish, the seamstress cuts in.
I know. And at the same time, you've made a powerful ally. I've met her, and I'll meet her again to help her as she gives birth. But she was content that she doesn't have to worry about my safety anymore, so we're good for the time being.
Cards love me. They truly do. I haven't lost a game since my deal with the thing that whispers. But it warned me. Luck is a finite resource. Now my physical body is gone, but I can play cards for eternity. In me life. Ha! Alive is how I feel now. Not before. But yes, my life, as you call it, was a wicked ride, my friend. You know that cards love me, and I love them. Truly and deeply. I'd say they're my true love. And that's definitely something I couldn't say about anyone I've crossed paths with. I was born to a peasant woman and a horse boy. Can't say I remembered them too well. I got out of that damned village as soon as I learned how to run. I just can't stand poverty, you know? My own, that is. So I went to town and won some coins. Then I won some more. And more. I can't say it was all, you know, fair and square. But it's the result that matters, not the means, right? Well, this allowed me to pretend, or rather to live, the fantasy of being higher born than I actually was. Then I met this girl, the merchant's daughter. Stupid beyond all reason, but quite, you know, well. I thought marrying her might earn me a comfortable life. Oh, how wrong I was. She was a vicious, treacherous woman, I tell you. I swear she hired an assassin to get rid of me at some point. The worst part, though, is that Lady Luck wasn't there for me anymore. Serious debts accrued. And of course, this led to more marital problems. I needed to run, so I bought myself a berth on the ship and came here. Best possible decision, wasn't it? Of course, it turns out that me luck returned as soon as I ran away from that terrible woman. So I gambled with the ship's crew and with all the folks I met in this new land. Some of them lost it all the money they brought from the fatherland. And you know what they say, somebody's loss is somebody else's gain. So I gained, but then reason came to poor old me. In order to avoid temptation of gambling it all away, or just getting killed for my fortune, I hid it. Now it lies in the ground, safe and sound, in some forest. But friend, what is the purpose of all those earthly things? Earthly pleasures? It's all in the spirit. It's all in the afterlife. I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't need them anymore. Being a ghost and all that. I'll tell you where to find it. But just promise that you'll play cards with me every time you come back to the village. You swear? Okay, I'll show you. Find me out there, within the Wyrdness, and we'll go together. Finally, we're pretty close. Let's move, and we'll get to me treasure in no time at all.
You walk and walk, yet the scenery doesn't seem to change.
I promise we're actually moving. I'm a ghost. I can see such things now.
After an eternity or two, the ghost stops. He points to an unmarked spot on the ground.
Here, dig here.
After another eternity spent digging in the ground, your shovel hits something. It's wooden. Several back-breaking heaves of the shovel later, you realize it's a coffin. Suddenly, a hand bursts through the coffin lid, then another one. A moment later, you see the silhouette of a woman floating out of the grave. She's mostly decomposed, though there's some rotting flesh hanging here and there on the bones. The corpse opens her eyes. When she sees the ghost standing behind you, she immediately starts screaming.
Gunner, you worthless scum! You disgusting, lazy bastard! How dare you leave me, you rotten!
Shut up.
The woman, clearly in shock, falls silent.
I never got the courage to tell you this when I was alive. And now that I'm dead, I don't care. Shut up! Once and for all. You treated me like a piece of horse scrap. Or worse. I did everything I could, and it wasn't enough for you, was it? You know what? I'm happy now. You're gone, and I will never see you again. And I'm happy. And this time, I will be the one to silence you. Not death. I will shut your mouth forever.
Before she has a chance to react, he throws something at her and mumbles a few words in a language you don't recognize. The woman collapses. Her bones scatter, then turn into dust.
Ha! No, that felt good. Well, I might have exaggerated the treasure-related part of me story. I actually gambled everything away. But you have to admit that this was priceless. Oh, come on. You saw for yourself that she was a lovely creature, wasn't she? I have to admit that the Wyrdness made her even more beautiful. Well, that's all I ever wanted out of me afterlife. Now I can die happy. Oh wait, but thank you, really. I couldn't have dug her up without your help.
There are old customs that protect the traveling priests of the All-Mother. The one you see before you, walking through the Wyrdness at a brisk, confident pace, doesn't seem to realize or care that this protection is unlikely to extend here. Before you have a chance to ask her for anything, something leaps out of the Wyrdness.
Praise the Mother. I'm glad you're here. I want to settle this once and for all. If All-Mother is still with us, she will protect me. If not, I'd rather die anyway. Now let me be on my way and you go on yours, with my blessing.
Reluctantly, she reveals that she went into the Wyrdness of her own free will.
Ever since we landed on Avalon, I've seen so much evil. Men killing each other for a slice of bread. Parents drowning their children so that their cries don't draw a weird spawn. It's so hard to believe the mother still watches over us. I'm on a pilgrimage, trying to visit all of the shrines raised throughout these lands in the name of the All-Mother.
You realize that with the world being in constant flux, stuck between various times and realities, her pilgrimage will probably never end. You tell her that since your journey will take you to various places anyway, you might as well help out. You can see that she's exhausted but grateful.
Here, it's an incense blessed by the High Priestess. Use it to perform a ritual at all of the All-Mother's altars you can find, and hope that, in time, we'll be able to purify and shield them from corruption. I'm too far away from the altar to cast spells like that. I can give you some potions or teach you a certain technique, though. It's your choice.
All-Mother shrines were a common sight across Avalon. Despite their grim existence, settlers were grateful to the goddess, and they had good reason to be. For every 10 people who set sail for Avalon, only 4 would reach the island, and only 1 or 2 would survive the first year. The shrine has faint traces of power lingering in the air. A priestess materializes out of the Wyrdness and asks what it is that you're looking for. You feel a strange power rising around you. Is that a faint glow over the altar, or is it just a trick of the light? The shrine... You're not...
I just couldn't keep my end of the bargain. There's no strength left in me to continue this journey.
You tell her that her quest is what's important and that she should push through the pain. She closes her eyes for a moment.
You're right. When I became a priestess, I offered my life up to the All-Mother. I can't turn back now.
She bids you farewell and sets a course for the next altar. Perhaps you'll meet again one day? And perhaps encouraging her to persevere was the right thing to do. You hear music, joyful melodies at that. They sound weirdly inappropriate, drifting through the inscrutable darkness. Then, the source of the sound appears.
Oh, a traveller. Come on, sing with me.
There are many instruments around, all made from materials at hand. Most have been crafted from sticks and bushes, but you can also see some monstrous body parts here and there.
Singing is the only thing that will get us through these strange times, don't you agree? Sing with me. You aren't all that bright, are you? My music once filled the halls of... Wait, what was the name of that king? You know, the tall one. Arthur? Yes, grumpy one, didn't like jokes, but he paid well.
He starts to dance again, clapping on his belly like a drum.
Speaking of paying, Master Stranger, do you have any coins to spare? If you do, I might teach you a song or two. Always good to see you, stranger, but maybe we shouldn't be strangers anymore. I'm braggy. But anyway, you know what? I'm sick of this place. I'm stuck here, forced to eat my instruments. Can you believe that? Getting really annoyed. It's high time I went out and earned some coin somewhere.
You sense that he places a heavy emphasis on earning some coin.
Anyway, let's sing. What else can we do these days, stranger? Want me to teach you a song or two?
You're quite surprised to see the singer so drained of his energy. With a stumbling incoherence, he tries to tell you a story, but he can't seem to focus on the words.
I remember there was a battle. A big one. I played there. But those damned Avalonians are clearly insensitive to art. It was a massacre. Men impaled on their own weapons, invisible creatures floating through the battlefield and leaving our soldiers with wounds that won't heal.
The story stops as abruptly as it started. It's as if he were possessed by a ghost that suddenly left.
You can't bring Honir back.
He explains that his brother was on his way to join Arthur's armies on the battlefield. He went on the road with the supply wagons, and Bragi was looking for him among the corpses for days on end. There's not much you can do to help the singer, but you promise that you'll at least look out for his brother on your travels. The path you walk doesn't seem to be out of the ordinary, yet suddenly you hear strange, loud voices resembling a choir.
Oh, shut up, you damn parasites.
Now you see them, all of them. An old lady carrying a lot of strange things on her back, and a crew of men trudging after her. All are bald and half naked. Some push a carriage filled with things you can't quite make out.
Blessed be my soul, a stranger. Alive at that. Thanks to the All-Mother.
She gives you a broad smile and waddles towards you.
We're on our way to the battlefield with supplies for the army, but it seems we lost our way when this strange fog trapped us last night.
It seems that she didn't notice that members of her crew have been dead for quite a while now.
The wizard Merlin was supposed to lead our troops with Sir Galahad. We were to meet them somewhere around here.
Her voice suddenly becomes cold as ice.
Yes, I know that name. He kept saying that our journey is pointless, that we're heading for certain death, serving people we've never even seen. At some point, everyone was sick of him and our men were on edge, tired, starving. They threatened him, saying that if he didn't stop, he'd be the next meal. Same night, he left his spear behind and disappeared, and we haven't heard from him since.
She starts rummaging for something in her bags.
Here, that's the spear. I've no use for it, and frankly, the further away you take this token of disgrace, the better.
Did you have any luck finding my...
You give him the spear and see tears forming in his eyes. He starts humming a sad song, like he's saying goodbye to his brother. You tell him what you heard at the supply wagons, that Honir didn't want to join a fight between some unknown kings. The bard smiles briefly, but there's no joy in this smile.
But he's gone anyway, and there's nothing I can do about it. I've lost 2 brothers now. What's the point of me being here, then? And why was I spared?
You explain that the spear doesn't prove his brother's death. It just proves that he left his spear behind. The bard looks at you, visibly surprised.
I understand. Wyrdness can work in mysterious ways, and the fact that he left the group doesn't mean that he died.
However, you warn him that Honir might have changed due to the weirdness. He might not be something that the bard would want to see.
Thank you anyway, friend.
You see the bard sitting among his instruments. He's playing no music, and there's no joy in his words.
Hello there. I assume you'd like to learn a song, but I don't think I have any music left in me, friend. There's one song I could teach you, but after we're done, I won't remember who you are anymore. I won't remember who I am anymore. I won't remember anything anymore. You will? But how?
You have no idea, but you don't let it show. You know, though, that there must be a way to find out what happened to Honnet. He points in your direction. You tell him what happened to Bragi and his brother. The ghost listens impatiently to your story. He sighs after noticing your confused stare. You notice that his ghostly presence becomes darker when he gets angry. He tries to scratch his head, but his ethereal hand passes right through his intangible body.
Did you have any luck finding my brother?
You explain everything you've learned. You expect Bragi to break down in tears at the news of his brother's death. The bard, however, as instructed, immediately starts working on a new instrument. He hums a joyful tune with a smile on his face.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my friend.
The bard is playing a haunting tune on a new instrument, one that you've never seen before. He's visibly happy.
Can you hear this? My brother's talking to me through his music. He asks me to thank you. And I can't quite understand that part, but he tells me to ask your ghastly friend to forgive him for his behavior. Thank you. You've done more for me than I ever expected or even dared to hope for. I'll gladly join, and I'll try to bring some joy to your village with my music.